So welcome to Morning Sip, and SIP stands for Spirit in Practice. And practicing is what I have been doing even more, dealing with pain. So if you saw my Sunday in Praise yesterday, you saw I had a situation going on the left side of my face because I have a infection. A tooth got infected, my gum got infected, and it's quite painful. I'm not going to even try to act like it ain't, because it is. But we press on, we press through, and so that's what I'm doing. So I'm happy to be with you all today for our morning sip with Red Melissa. Well, today I'm having my own freaking first time. This is the freaking first time that I don't have a topic for the series. It's my freaking first time. And I was like, I set my intentions, and usually I wake up in the morning and I have downloaded it from the heavens and I am ready to go. Did not happen. So I said, okay, so that must mean that I just need to be with what is present for me right here and right now. And I have to tell y'all, what's present for me right here, right now is pain. It's pain. So yesterday in our Sunday in Praise, we talked about stop being the glass and become a lake, right? Expand yourself, right? And so that's what I've been working with in dealing with this gum infection, to expand myself, to be the lake. And it's so interesting because one of the tools that I'm using is rinsing with salt water, right? And in the story that I shared yesterday, and if you didn't see it, please check out Sunday in Praise yesterday. The story that I shared was the master telling the student to put some water in the glass and drink it. And the student said if it tasted bitter, he could taste all the salt. And then the master told the student to pour the salt in the lake. And the student poured the salt in the lake, and the master told him to taste the lake. And when the student tasted the lake, he couldn't taste the salt, because the lake is so expansive, it's so big, it's so open, right? And so that's been my intention with this pain, to not focus on it, but it is making itself be known. It is making itself be known. So that's where I am today. I am keeping it 100, So I do want to share, because even in this, there's a lesson. Even in this, there's an opportunity to learn and to grow, right? Because we all have pain. At some point in our life, we either have physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, spiritual pain. It's part of the human condition to experience pain. But it's what you do with that pain that is really the lesson, that is really the opportunity to be with yourself in a different way, in a more expansive way. Yes? Okay. Y'all with me? All right. So I want to read again from the Book of Awakening. And I read the story about the glass in the lake. It's from this book. It's from the Book of Awakenings by Mark Nepo. And this is one of the books that I use for my spiritual practice. It's part of my inspirational reading. So when I opened the book this morning, it took me to this page, February 16th. And you know what the title is? Misery. Misery. And the opening quote is, if peace comes from seeing the whole, then misery stems from a loss of perspective. So I said, okay, God, I think this might be what I need to focus on today. There must be a lesson here for me. So here we go. We begin so aware and grateful. The sun somehow hangs The sun somehow hangs there in the sky. The little birds sing. The miracle of life just happens. Then we stub our toe. And in that moment of pain, the whole world is reduced to our poor little toe. Then we have a gum infection, and my whole world is reduced to this gum infection and the pain of it. With every step, we are reminded of our poor little toe. Our vigilance becomes which defines our day. The pinch we feel in walking on abused toe, or the miracle still happening. So am I focused on the miracle that's still happening? I'm alive, I'm well, or am I focusing on this whole situation? It is the giving over to smallness that opens us to misery. It is the giving over to smallness that opens us to misery. In truth, we begin taking nothing for granted, grateful that we have enough to eat, that we are well enough to eat, but somehow through the livings of our days, our focus narrows like a camera that shuttles down, cropping out the horizon. Can y'all relate to that? That you become so focused on pain or something that's not happening the way that you wanted it to, and everything else gets blocked. You don't see the horizon anymore, right? You just singly focus on this one thing. It becomes your everything. And you forget about all the other things that you have to be grateful for and start even taking it for granted. Yes? When we narrow our focus, the problem seems everything. In actuality, misery is a moment of suffering allowed to become everything. So when feeling miserable, we must look wider than what hurts. When feeling a splinter, we must, while trying to remove it, remember there is a body that is not a splinter, and a spirit that is not a splinter, and a world that is not a splinter. So that's where I am right now. I am in a moment of misery, right? And I have to admit that at times I allowed it to become everything. In moments I did. And then I recognized that I have to look wider, because my whole body is not a gum infection, right? Become a lake. Don't become a glass. I had to say that to myself. Melissa, become a lake, not a glass. Not a glass. And that's what we do. The pain of life is pure salt, no more, no less. The amount of pain in life remains the same, exactly the same. But the amount of bitterness we taste becomes the container we put the pain in. So when you are in pain, the only thing you can do is enlarge your sense of things. Stop being a glass, become a lake. So that's the invitation. Stop being a glass. Stop focusing on what's making you miserable. Increase your gratitude. Increase your gratitude practice. When something is happening in your life, increase your gratitude practices. Look for things to be grateful for. Look for things that make you happy. Look for things that help you to expand your horizons. Don't focus on the pain. Don't give it your full attention. Do what you need to do to address it, yes. If you have a splinter in your foot, you're going to pull out the splinter. If you have a gum infection, you're going to go to the dentist and get it worked on, yes. So that's what we do in life. We come into an upset, we come into pain, and we have the opportunity to shift our perspective about it. It is not our whole life. It is not our whole life. It is not our whole experience of our life. It's a moment in time. And what we do with that moment in time is really important. So lean into your spiritual practices. Give it an extra dose if you're going through something really challenging. Extend your inspirational reading. Extend your inspirational journaling. Extend your meditation. Extend your practice of gratitude. And help to become the lake that you are. Expand yourself. Expand yourself by expanding what you're focusing on. So I'm expanding my focus on God's grace. I'm expanding my focus knowing that all things are working together for my highest good. Everything is. And so that's today's sip, y'all. We'll see if a series shows up tomorrow. I'm open to it. We'll see what happens. But become a lake. Become a lake. Expand your horizons and see yourself as the whole, perfect, and complete person that you are, because God made you that way. Yes? Yes. Yes. So peace and blessings, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me live today. I so appreciate you. I so appreciate you. And just know that all things are working together for good, no matter what is happening in your life right now. This is temporary. God is permanent. Love is permanent. Grace is permanent. Yes? Yes. So peace and blessings, peace and justice.